1800, here for you guys my RuroKen Hokkaido Arc Chapter 52 discussion. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it, that special intro. A big thanks to Chris JP20 as always. But here is my new setup, my special collections. This is my new room. I recently moved. So yeah, I just wanted to share. You will see this in all my discussion videos now. So you guys can see some of my posters behind me, several from the Hokkaido Arc, from the original, and the new anime as well. There's even a cell of Kaoru up there. This one is my case, my figure case, so I'll be sharing some of my new figures soon. Some of the new ones individually, and also the collection as a whole. Over here is my bookcase with all my DVDs, collections, and like magazines and manga, movies. So yeah, anyways, that's my new setup. Alright guys, let's get to the question number 1. Can Sano use Futai no Kiwami with his left arm or left fist? Why am I asking you this? Well, there's a couple reasons. In the first case, in this battle with Doi, especially at the beginning of this battle, he breaks Doi's weapon, the one that was sharp, the really sharp weapon that, you know, he was holding on to, that they were holding on to. So he breaks that weapon by smashing it with his left fist. So we know that it's strong, and we've seen him use his fist before, so we know he has a strong fist. But can he use Futai no Kiwami? Well, he did shatter that weapon of Doi's, so it makes me wonder. Another reason why I wanted to say this is because he also used other body parts. He used his elbows, he used his feet. I mean, we don't usually see Sanosuke kicking someone, but he used his foot to actually hold on and kind of block the weapon, and then he used his elbow to smash into his face, and then while he was recovering, he just smashed the weapon and caught off, you know, the Doi off guard. So yeah, that was really cool. But it makes me wonder, because Ono of the Kinkaku Heki, the one that he faced in Otaru, also came to this conclusion, especially with the strategy that he basically went in and got, you know, he thought that he got a fatal blow on Sanosuke, but it was all to see how far he could go and expose the weakness of Ono. And once he realized, you know, his strength, once he realized how strong Sanosuke was, he said, you know, as he was kind of defeated and everything, to himself, he said, well, someday this guy could have a Futai no Kiwami in his left fist. So I wanted to pose this question because we saw how strong it was against Doi's armor. So basically that armor, that weapon armor, I assume it's a weapon made of earth, obviously, but it was some kind of rock, right? It's some kind of strong rock, but it got broken in half. It got broke to pieces. So that's an interesting thing to think about, right? I mean, Sano with the Futai no Kiwami in his left fist and his right fist, we obviously know he has defense now. He has the Senken, which is the one where he basically he twists back Ono's fingers, and that made his Futai no Kiwami even stronger. So we know he's got a defense. That could be a key to defeating Doi here. But anyways, just something to think about. Alright, number 2. What is the real reason that Doi, the rock user of Kinkaku Heki, has no interest in fighting Sanosuke? Right? Sanosuke's like, I can take anything you can throw at me, and so come on, come at me. And so they're like, no, you're coming to me. And so Sanosuke gets pissed off, he goes off, and he's like, come on, and he's like, I have no interest, I'm not talking to you, I have no interest in you. So like, they're insulting him, and that's what forces Sanosuke to just kind of go in there and hit him out and smash his weapon, and that's where the battle begins. Obviously, Sanosuke has a plan. It's all a strategy to open up Doi for Anji to use for Tai no Kiwami, and we know they both smash him at the same time. They smash Doi, the rock user, at the same time at the end of the chapter. But what is the real reason? Okay, so we hear throughout how insulted Sanosuke is and how many insults are thrown at him. But there's something in the chapter that really does give a clue, and that is the part where he talks about the Buddhist abolition in Japan, basically abolishing Buddhism, the fact that the Enlightened One was created after going through hell, gaining a resilient soul, strong and resilient soul. And then he goes on to say, those children are happy now that they're in the Pure Land. I'm sure they're happy, but he kind of has kind of a sarcastic kind of almost like insulting. And obviously Sanosuke gets really pissed about this. And we see the flashback of Sanosuke losing everything, everything, those children, and the woman he was with. So yeah, there's something there. I feel like they mentioned the Pure Land for a reason. Pure Land is reincarnation, the next life, but honestly, that is something a Buddhist would know, not just any ordinary person. So I don't feel like that it was in the special book of warriors mentioning from Anji's battle. I don't think they learned that from there. So I think that's a hint that Doi and Anji are somehow connected in that they were of the same faith. I feel like they were both Buddhist at one point. And we will see more in the next chapter, and I will show you that. But I want to keep the spoilers to a minimum. But yeah, that's one of the reasons, because we know Sanosuke and Ono also were fighters. They were brawlers. So we kind of had the two fist fighters against each other. And here we have the fighters who lost, everything through religion, obviously Buddhism here. And maybe, the fallen monk and Doi, they can relate to one another because they both have suffered in some way through their faith. That's what I think. That's why I think that they have no interest in Sanosuke. Wow, I caught myself. I almost spoiled something from the next chapter. Anyways, okay, the next one. Doi, their battle style graboids. Which technique of Doi's is your favorite? So there are several techniques. One of the coolest techniques is when they can tunnel underground, right? This is just basic graboids. But when they get to like the various techniques, when Sanosuke smashes the weapon, they go on offensive, right? They use something called the snake. Well, no, it was called the sand lizard. So basically what they do, Sanosuke gets right up to him and tries to Futai no Kiwami, and they just slide on the sand, and they go away. It's a good evasive maneuver. But then they come around, and right as they're coming towards Sanosuke, they use their foot and they slam down on the ground, and these rocks just come flying up like a cliff being formed, and the rocks go flying up at Sanosuke. And so this is called Rock Ant Hill. I think that's what it's called. But anyways, a pretty dangerous technique. And then one of my favorite techniques in this chapter of Doi's is Hachibe Subite, which is bee flying gravel. So all those rocks, which they eventually smash them, so they're all surrounding Sanosuke, and then they put their fists, they put their arms like this, they put their fists up like this, and as they do that, all the rocks surrounding Sanose go flying towards him in all directions. And so obviously a really dangerous technique, a pretty cool visual, obviously. I really like this one because this kind of reminded me of Yusuke Urameshi and his shotgun, right? You know, shotgun is the spirit gun blast going flying everywhere in multiple directions. So yeah, that's almost a throwback to one of my favorite techniques from Yu Yu Hakusho. But I really like that, and I also like, you know, kind of the pose that the enemy does. It's a pretty cool. It's a cool visual. So yeah, that's my favorite. But what do you guys think? Did you guys like that technique, or did you like any of the other techniques? Which is your favorite? I thought the creation of the cliff is pretty cool. The rock ant hill, that's a pretty cool one. The sand lizard is also really cool, but it's more evasive. I feel like that could, you know, easily avoid someone getting hit. So obviously they've got a lot of versatility, the agility. It seems like they have a lot in their arsenal. So, but anyways, that's my favorite. What is yours? Okay, and our last question today. Do you believe that Doi learned the earth crawling and rock throwing techniques, the earth abilities from the Kinkaku Heki? Do you believe they are from the original clan? So in other words, what I'm saying is, do you believe they are actual Kinkaku Heki born of the clan, or are they an outsider? Because they have such unique earth abilities. It makes you wonder, right? Ono created his, kind of axe fist by smashing his fists into iron sand. So I suppose it's possible that this could be, but as we learn in the next chapter, that the rock is actually a special type of armor. So it's a special type, you'll learn about it in the next chapter. But I feel like maybe they could be an outsider because we haven't seen, we have not seen yet that the Sekiriki. Sekiriki is one thing that tells whether they were born of the clan. It is a special improvement technique, enhancement. It enhanced their entire cells and it enhanced their blood vessels, everything, their muscles. It creates an enhancement. And we've seen it in Itakura, we've seen it in Ono, we've seen it in all the others, Honda. So we've yet to see it in this fighter. So it makes me wonder, are they of the clan, or are they an outsider? Because Ono said before the battle was announced on that day or the previous day, there were 3 outsiders. But is Doi an outsider? I have to wonder. I don't know. It's possible, but I also feel like they're making them very mysterious. The whole Buddhist faith thing, it also gets me, making me think that maybe they're of the Kinkaku Heki, but maybe they left the clan for a while and then they came back. I don't know. That's a very interesting thing to think about. The whole thing with Anji's past and the Buddhist, the whole abolition in Japan. So anyways, these are just some of the discussion questions I came up with. Where are we going with this battle? Well, we're going to learn who Doi actually is in the next chapter. It's pretty shocking. Some of you probably already know who it is. But yeah, anyways, guys, there will be a review next week for chapter 53. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.